All right, we should be live. Welcome.
Right now,
Right now.
live, we're here, we're ready to go. Welcome everyone to the first episode of GegaHub Live.
What's up, everybody? It's DaiKaiju Tony here, and today we're going to talk about one of the most trippiest movies ever made.
That's right.
Just so everyone is aware, it is much better if you're drinking, I guess. It's a much more entertaining movie if you're dosed in some way, shape, or form, I believe.
Right.
But the movie we're talking about is could you call it a seminal horror classic, I guess?
You know, it is a classic in its own right, a cult classic.
The 1977.
Nice.
There it is, right there. The 1977 movie from Japan called House or Hausu.
Yes.
These, do we have a sponsor or anything, or are we good?
No, we're good. We're good
Not
now.
this time.
We're all on our own stuff.
Okay. Oh, nice.
YOLO.
Okay, so this show is brought to you by me being up past my bedtime. I'm way tired. We're going to power through. We're going to talk about this movie, which I had never seen up until recently.
Right.
Whose idea was it to watch this movie?
I think it was Anthony's. I had seen it about 7-8 years ago.
It definitely wasn't mine, but I definitely had a copy prior, so I had, full experience of what I was getting into again.
Oh yeah, I knew going in. I was like, what the heck is going on here?
When did you first watch it, Tony?
I want to say when I was 15, I think.
Yeah, probably about the same time I did, yeah.
So, I was really getting into more...
When he was 15 or when you were 15?
When he was 15.
So you saw this movie when you were 15?
No.
Yeah.
I can't imagine you could find this movie back then, right?
No, I don't think it was released in the U.S.
Anyway, this is kind of like when I say horror comedy, it definitely is a horror it's more comedy than anything. I remember watching it with my girlfriend, and I think the first 20 minutes I was like, is this the horror movie? Is this the right movie? This can't be the right movie.
Oh, man.
Because the first 20 or 30 minutes are really kind of stupid.
Right.
Very slice of life, because it's all the characters who are all high school girls.
Yes.
And it kind of their introduction, and then the main girl, what was her name again? By the way, their names.
Oh my God! There's a girl named Kung Fu.
Gorgeous fantasy.
Gorgeous fantasy.
Yeah. They're supposed to be kind of faceless for people to pick a waifu.
Yes,
kind of deal.
Well, I mean, one of them, her personality.
I'm gonna run down the list.
She eats a lot, so
yeah, absolutely.
Take it with a grain of salt.
So,
not like
Gorgeous.
She was fat at all. Yeah, Gorgeous.
No, Gorgeous was the main gal, right? Kung Fu.
Yeah.
Was the girl who did martial arts. That's why they called her Kung Fu.
Yes.
Prof, which is short for professor, who was the smart girl.
One, yeah.
Yep.
Fantasy was the other girl.
She's daydreaming all the time, yeah.
Her name is the most strippery sounding, by the way. Fantasy. But yeah, so she's called Fantasy because she's always daydreaming. Her head's always in the clouds. Mac, who is the girl who loves food.
Yes.
Oh, was it Mac?
Mac. Yes.
Yeah, I love. Just quick comment about Mac. I love how they kept commenting that she was you're really fat. She's either fat or she really loves food. She's the fat friend, but she looks exactly like all the other girls.
Yes.
She's
more she's more like Shaggy from Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
That?
She was thin.
I think the thing was but I think she was. I don't even know that I want to say this. I think she was thicker than the other girls. You know what I mean?
Slightly.
I mean, but
slightly.
She's still hot.
Right. But but that's what I'm saying. It's she's not that much more heavier than they are,
not at
right?
all. Yeah.
They're always just oh, you love food, Mac. You really love food. You just slow down. It's insane. And then there's Sweet, who she was just sweet. If I remember correctly, right? She was just very nice.
Was that what it was?
Yeah.
I think so. And then Melody, who has one of the best scenes in the whole movie.
Yeah.
She could play the piano, or she could play.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Yes.
The piano scene.
The piano
And
played
of course.
her.
But and of course the head honcho ghost, the aunt. She is Gorgeous's aunt.
Yes.
Yes. That's right.
Yeah. Okay. So let me see if we can nail down the synopsis real quick. Gorgeous was gonna hang out with her friends somewhere, and then she found out her dad got remarried over over. I guess he was filming. He's a composer, right?
Right. Yeah.
He's a movie composer, and he comes back and he's just like, "Hey, I married this woman."
She's your mom.
And your mom. Yeah, that was right off the bat. The worst way to introduce like a potential partner to a stepchild, right? It's like, hey, this is your new mom. I hope you guys are cool.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
And
Like stereotypically bad.
And then there's always a breeze blowing in her hair or whatever she was wearing, and it was crazy.
Very true. It starts off very overly dramatic, like melodramatic.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like that for 30 minutes. It's so weird and goofy. It's like a movie for young girls for like 30 minutes before they finally get to the house in question, and then stuff starts happening. It's still a goofy movie, even when at like the meat of the movie. Still a weirdo, goofy movie. But these first like 30, 40 minutes where there's really nothing happening, it's just a bunch of girls giggling or the bits of melodrama, you completely forget that you're watching a horror movie, and then weird stuff starts happening, and really it only adds to the comedy because it so unexpectedly starts happening.
Yeah, like especially the first time something paranormal happens with the watermelon.
Right.
Yeah. That's so dumb.
It comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, like the effects are intentionally sort of cheesy.
And very 70s, extremely 70s.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be like a child's logic or like a teenage girl's logic or whatever. 'Cause didn't the director's daughter help write it, or actually?
Yes, actually.
I think she helped with some of the script and stuff like that. Yeah.
The director made it because the daughter suggested it.
Right.
But
Who knew that her suggestion would make like this movie that I had no idea was like so popular. You know how there are those movies that you don't know that they have fan bases, and this movie has a pretty big fan base.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it does. When I was reading about it, Toho there was a lot going on in Toho. They did it because it was an experimental thing, but they figured it would lose money, and it actually turned out to be financially very successful.
Yeah. Later on, yeah. It's real quick before we move any further. Can we talk about Gorgeous's dad?
Yeah.
The composer. I guess he was off in Italy. He met a Japanese woman in Italy, I guess.
what are the chances?
He was in Italy. Yeah, he was in Italy scoring a movie for Sergio Leone. And he just kind of and he offhandedly makes this comment to his daughter. He's like, yes, it was a successful shoot. I did very well. Sergio said that I was better than Ennio Morricone, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's a bold claim, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sergio Leone did not say that. Would not say that.
Oh my goodness.
Insane.
Right.
Yeah. It just sounds like a story like an old person would make up to sound more impressive. And then I met the president, and the president said I was the best person at war. You know, like I was the best person at doing things. That's what the president said.
Right.
Right. So I just wanted to gloss over that because that really I took offense to that.
Yeah, I did too, actually.
I was like, if he said no, I was like, oh, Sergio loved my work. Like, okay. He said I was better than Ennio Morricone. No, he ddid not say that.
You're full of it.
She should have said that. She should have been like, Sergio Leone said that. No, Dad.
No.
I've heard your stuff. It's not Ennio Morricone. I'll tell you that right now.
You're not even an Akira Ifukube.
It's yeah, exactly. There's so many better composers, Dad. Calm yourself. You have a
Yes.
job. Well, yeah, that's what I wanted to get into real quick. But okay, so the girls decide instead of, I guess they were going to go to a beach house or something, and the dad and the stepmom was going to be
Yes.
there.
Yes.
Right. She did not want to be there with the stepmom,
Or just
so
like,
she
nope.
so she instead writes her aunt to see if her and her friends can stay at her place. The aunt accepts, and
The
so
last time the aunt saw her was when she was fairly little, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So they head to her house in the country. And by the way, they're waiting on their goofball teacher, who is the weirdest guy.
Yeah, he's bananas.
Remember the teacher?
He's bananas.
Oh, he's like almost 40, and the one girl's like head over heel. Who's the head over heels
That's
in love
right.
with this guy?
Oh,
Fantasy?
Is it sweet or
It's fantasy. No, it's fantasy because she has
Yeah,
a
it was
lot of
fantasy.
daydreams about him like rescuing her.
That's right.
oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a thing.
So goofball's like
Japan.
almost 40. He looks like a goober. He's a Western guy. He's got to be from like Europe or America or something. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
even like when he spoke in Japanese, you're just like, oh, somebody had to ADR this guy because he does not sound great.
Well, even his
His
style of
Japanese
clothes and
is
everything.
bad. Yeah, like and then he has this scene with a bucket, and it's the goofiest thing I've ever seen. They basically the whole movie while everything is happening, they're like really putting a lot on this guy showing up. Just like we'll do this and this and this, and then in the end, the teacher will show up. What is his name? Mr. Togo, Keisuke Togo. Yeah, they're like Mr. Togo will show up. Like everything rode on Togo showing up, and this dude was not close to showing up at all. I think he even missed everything by the end anyway. So
Oh yeah, he got turned into a pile of bananas, right?
Wait.
yeah,
Yeah.
he did. So anyway, so Togo out of the way. He's just kind of like the side character. They always kind of just cut to him like doing something goofy. He's just like sucking down noodles for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, right. These are the best noodles.
Yeah, they just have conversations about the best noodles. And gosh, okay. Well, that guy aside, they basically go to this aunt's house in the country, and it turns out that the house is haunted, and weird crap starts happening to them.
Starting with
What was the first thing? The chandelier?
No, the head, right?
no. Yep, the watermelon
The
head,
yeah.
and it ends
I
up
thought-
biting. No.
Mac gets
Oh, it was the chandelier thing, wasn't it? And they were all still alive by then.
No, I thought Mac went out to get the watermelon and disappeared.
Yeah, Mac went out to
He
get.
was the first one that died. Nobody died in that scene with the chandelier.
No.
But she was the first one to die because of the watermelon that turned into a head.
Okay.
I started biting
Yeah.
her butt first.
It bit her square on the ass. It sure did.
Well, no, that was Mac's head biting somebody else on the ass.
Yeah.
She went out to look for Mac.
Yeah.
So what happened to Mac? Did she fall into the well or something? Or
They
I
never-
forgot how she.
never
Assuming-
explain it. Yeah, they never explain
Yeah,
it.
it's off screen.
Like a ghost popped up, and then it was off screen, and then she was dead. And then the one girl was pulling the watermelon out of the well because I guess that's how they chill watermelons.
Yeah.
And it was Mac's head, which started to float, and then chase her around a bit, and then bit her square on the ass.
Square in
Yes.
the ass. Mac's gray face with sharp teeth, if I remember.
That occasionally turns into a mannequin head.
Yeah.
I love how this whole movie gaslights fantasy. As the ghost does stuff, and Fantasy's like notice, she sees everything that's going on. She's like, oh my god, that happened. And whenever she tells people like
They don't
whatever
believe
was
her.
floating
Yeah.
is no longer floating, or whatever's happening is no longer happening, and they absolutely do not believe her. Like they think she's unwell.
I know, I did love that, yeah.
It was kind of cartoonish.
They were just like, no, you're the daydreamer. You didn't see that.
The ghost is just gaslighting her the whole time.
Your stories. You always make up such great stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then slowly, one by one, the girls start biting it all the way
Yes.
to the end, where Fantasy was the one that seemingly had survived, but it turns out that is not the case. No one survives,
No.
fortunately, in this movie. And the ghost of Gorgeous is left to haunt again as
Yes.
she kills her stepmother by burning her alive.
Yes.
So, with that said,
Super hardcore.
do you think that the aunt possessed Gorgeous, or Gorgeous became one of the ghosts?
I want to say Gorge became one of the ghosts.
Yeah,
Because, the aunt has her own nefarious thing going on. You could probably tell. But, nah, it's not. There's no possession going on.
You don't think so? Okay.
I don't think so.
Now, this movie is insane. If I, there's parts of it I just did not understand. So if I figured it out and it was already in the movie, I'm so sorry I missed it. But I believe that the house is keeping them there.
I'm pretty sure the house is sentient.
And so the aunt, I think, maybe was trying to free her soul by entrapping another soul.
Maybe.
The house.
I guess.
Is that what happened, or am
No.
I insane?
I think that all of these situations are plausible, but I think that was also the point of the movie, is it didn't try to explain anything. The cat obviously was something, and then they killed it.
Yeah.
But it really didn't affect that much, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
They seemingly killed the house, but that didn't do anything either.
exactly, yeah. So I think
Let's face facts. I
To be
think
vague.
this movie was honestly, like, back in the day, was just supposed to be like some goofy cheesecake movie. You know what I mean?
Well, it was supposed to be like experimental. I know that.
Yeah, but like it struck me as like the most important thing is the girls and your attachment to these girls.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Not necessarily attachment, more of
No. Like it's like pick the girl that you like the best. That's always seems to be like the order of the day. Like, I'm just gonna write women that I think guys would like. So guys like smart girls, so there's a smart girl, and then guys like the pretty girls who do their makeup. Okay, well, there's a pretty girl that does her makeup.
Right.
So I think it was more like I love chicks that eat. But I think the whole thing was really just meant to be like, hey, here's some pretty girls doing goofy shit in a horror movie, just a goofy horror movie, like
one of the most, like, a goofy horror movie that has one of the most intense and borderline psychedelic cinematography ever, with tons of flashing lights, including the scene where the piano eats one of the girls.
Yeah, let's talk about that scene.
Are left eating or playing the piano.
Yeah,
let's talk about that scene real quick, because that seems to be like that was like the big scene I was seeing online that people really liked to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
That's Melody, who knows how to play the piano. She starts playing the piano, and the piano begins eating her alive, and it's the weirdest thing. Like, it just keeps cutting to this weird piano thing, like, and she's inside this contraption that's like literally eating her as a piano.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you would see like detached limbs and her head just kind of spinning. It was very psychedelic. If you were dosed,
and it was
it's
very,
gonna be kind of a weird feeling.
The second time I saw it,
and it was
and I regret it.
Weird feeling.
It was very South Park-esque animation.
It's weird. It's weirdly intense, but so stupid.
Easy,
It just the whole scene was so dumb. And then, like, at some point, she has enough energy while being eaten alive to say, like, what did you say when, like, the camera was like pointing at her butt? She made some comment like, "Oh, how cheeky," or something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that before the piano actually ate her completely.
And there are just some scenes that happen for the sake of it, like blood being sprayed out of the walls. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, this. I hope you. This is definitely the early days of like. This is the early days of being able to add graphics onto screen. You know what I mean?
No, they could have done those effects a lot better. He intentionally kept the effects like super cheesy and like television quality. That was all intentional.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why you do that if they gave you the bigger budget, but
well,
you're saying he chose to do that.
Yeah, he wanted it to seem dreamlike and almost nonsensical.
Yep, yeah, it does feel dreamlike.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
the combination of the flashy animations. Yeah,
the director wanted it to feel like a dream.
Yeah. There are I don't know. There are those like scenes like that where they like zoom in on her butt, and I think at one point, one of them is nude. I guess. Is it gorgeous? I believe
Um,
Is it her?
I think it was.
it was one of them. One of them
Yeah,
was
yeah,
one of
yeah.
them was naked in the movie. So
Was it gorgeous or was it fantasy?
again, I think it's like that 70s, horror. Like, yeah, we got pretty girls. Let's just have them have their boobs out before they die.
It
You
was
know what
gorgeous. It was gorgeous. Yeah.
Okay, it was
I mean?
gorgeous.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. Who ends up being the ghost at the end?
Yeah, so
the movie.
semi-exploitative, but at the same time, it's in good taste.
Well, yeah, it's not sexual. It's just nudity.
Yeah. Yeah, those effects are insane. But yeah, a lot of like what we're talking about, especially during the piano scene, it's all just graphics popping out at you, like different
Yes.
colors.
Right.
I think if I'm not a doctor, but if you're gonna watch this movie and you're photosensitive, maybe kind of read up on it or something. I guess be careful.
Yeah,
is what
and
I'm
if
saying.
if you enjoy
There's a
the
lot of flashing.
Japanese
Yeah, and if
love
you-
the flashing lights.
yes,
Yeah.
because if you enjoy this movie and want to see something else from Japan that has tons of flashing lights, just check out that one episode of Pokemon that kind of got banned.
Tell them
So,
that.
yeah,
Don't tell them that.
Wow.
I've seen it before and I'm perfectly fine. Kinda.
Oh, you're far from perfectly fine, my friend.
Right. I know once the piano thing, there was all like that's when everything happened. That's when everything was. That was the crescendo of the movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of goofy shit that happens.
They
in this
get
movie.
pulled into the other room, and then like the house floods, and they kill the cat or whatever, and then
Oh, can we talk about how they killed the cat?
Yes.
So,
the painting,
up
right?
until this point, the most useful characters have been Kung Fu
Right.
and the professor, because the professor's reading and deciphering this person's diary.
Right.
And Kung Fu is just kicking all kinds of ass everywhere.
Kicking inanimate
Fi-
objects.
Yeah, this hitting inanimate objects.
that are
They find
attacking
out
them.
they find out that the weakness to the house is to strike a picture of the dog.
The cat.
Cat. I'm sorry, the cat. The thing looks like a dog in the logo. The cat.
Yeah, it does.
Um.
Talking about this one.
Oh, yeah, that one right there. It looks like a Pomeranian in that. That's why I was like, "What is this movie about a psycho Pomeranian?"
Yeah, now you say it. It does look like Pomeranian.
Yeah. So she goes to flying kick this painting of the cat and is eaten by a ceiling lamp up until about her midsection, right? And then the legs detached, still like doing like the kick, flying kick, and the legs flying kick the picture of the cat, causing the house to throw up blood.
Yeah.
That's when
This is one of my
everything
favorite
starts to flood,
scenes.
right?
Yep.
What's that?
Like,
When everything starts to flood.
Yeah, everything starts to flood. So Kung
Cat-
Fu's dead, and then the professor ends up. Does she end up getting eaten by something? She drowns, right?
Yeah.
Drowns, yeah, I think.
Yeah, because it's like the end of Titanic. There's two of them on a floating door,
Yeah.
and then the one girl gets pulled down, and then Fantasy gets to the stairs where she sees Gorgeous.
Right.
And Gorgeous turns out that she had already been possessed by the house or another ghost or whatever the hell the idea of this movie was.
Right.
And that's how she died. She did not make it till the end.
Nope.
Then, of course, there's the very last scene where she invites her stepmother there and burns her alive.
Burns her alive, yeah.
Yeah, burns her alive. It's so
and
stupid.
then the teacher gets turned into bananas.
Yes.
She gets turned into bananas.
Literally into bananas.
Oh my god. Like,
what does he fight? What does he fight? The last time you see him, is he fighting a gorilla or something, or what is he fighting? He's fighting some big dude, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Togo is.
Yeah, it's the one guy, not the noodle guy, but it was the other guy that gave him directions earlier on.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, and he gets turned into bananas. I don't know why. I have no idea why. Maybe is it like a joke? Is it like a cultural joke? You know, sometimes
maybe like an idiom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, because he is kind of he's there. They actually show a shot of him as Bananas, just sort of sitting there at the very end. And it's like,
Could have at least put googly eyes on.
oh, yeah, what's going on there?
Yeah, if someone can explain it to me, that would be fantastic. But I honestly do not understand what's happening there.
Right.
And that's pretty much the end of the movie. Like
Right.
it's kind of a bummer ending.
Yeah.
You know, not one girl survived.
Yeah, nobody lives. Everybody dies.
He lives. Everybody, and then they just kill the stepmom too, just for fun.
Yeah. Just a cherry on the top.
Cherry on top. They kill the mom for fun.
I guess the dad
The stepmom.
lives.
He lives to conduct music better than Ennio Morricone, of course.
Yeah, give me a break.
No, Ennio Morricone's music so good that it appeared in Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes.
So we ready? Yeah. So we ready to rate this son of a gun there?
Well, let me ask you this. I'm going to ask a question that uses what the intent of this movie is, and I'm not asking in a weird way. I just want you to tell me who your favorite of the girls is.
Okay.
Um.
Well, Kung Fu, obviously.
That's what I was going to say was Kung Fu. Kung Fu or the Professor, I was honestly rooting to make it to the end, but you know they weren't gonna.
They were both doers. They were doing stuff. They were trying to find solutions and being proactive.
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't expect Mac to be the first one to
to go.
Yeah.
I kind of thought she would be, because again, they paint her as this dumpy goober type person.
Yeah, but like usually when
she didn't look like it.
Even though she didn't look like it.
But usually in those type of horror movie situations, you think maybe she'd get killed off somewhere in the middle, since she's the first. She's one of the characters that's unaware, or she couldn't give a care in the world about the paranormal things going on at first. And usually in horror movies, like the person who's like suspecting something's wrong usually is like one of the first people that gets offed.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I definitely didn't expect Mac to die first, and I really liked that character.
You liked Mac?
Yeah, she was funny.
Yeah, she was cute and funny. Yeah,
she was like, the girl liked to eat. Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? Yeah, I like to
just sit there and pretend like, oh, you like to eat. Yeah, so does everybody else, dummies.
Yeah, so does everybody else. You know what happens when you don't eat?
Food is good. Yeah, food is good. You let that girl eat what she wants. God dang it!
Right.
Buy me an Ultraman burger in Japan. God.
Jeez, she loves Ultraman burgers.
That's a real thing, by the way.
Nice.
So Mac, Tony.
Yep, Mac.
Oh, okay, Mac.
Kung Fu.
I think they're the most memorable ones, right? But
yeah.
Well, Gorgeous in Fantasy. Come on.
I'm gonna go Professor. I like Professor and Kung Fu, but since you picked Kung Fu, I'm gonna go Professor.
Cool.
But yeah, the two main girls, I guess, who were Fantasy and Gorgeous, they didn't survive either, right? Like that girl died pretty early on. Gorgeous died pretty early on, and then Fantasy was the last one before she died. Yeah, she died last.
Gorgeous got tricked into the whole wedding dress thing, and then she was kind of lost in that mirror ever since that. Like the whole last part of the movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I mean, knowing how this show works, I'm pretty sure I know what we're all gonna give this movie. So 4 out of 4 stars. Who wants to go first? What do you rate? What do you rate Hausu?
I am going to rate it 3.
Whoa! What?
I think visually it's a treat. It's so bizarre you don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, there's not many. Maybe part of it's my age. There's just not many movies nowadays that I watch that I am surprised by, or that surprise me or kind of fascinate me. And this movie did both of those things. So I give it a 3 out of 4. Is it a coherent movie? No, but I don't think that was the point either.
Okay.
I give it a 4 out of 4 because of the movie's intent of being a weird, trippy horror movie that's supposed to make your eyes get glued to the screen and, have somewhat of a seizure. And you know what? That movie, it succeeded on its intent. So for that, I give it a 4 out of 4.
Fair enough.
Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna meet you both in the middle here. I'm gonna go 3.5.
Wow.
So like for the same reasons that you guys like this movie, it's weird and trippy. The story is very first draft. It stinks of first draft.
That's mean.
I mean, come on. Look, this guy knew what this movie was going to be. I'm going to put cute girls in a house. The house is haunted. Okay. It's just hoping your favorite girl makes it to the end. And guess what? Nobody.
No one
to
does.
the end.
They all
Nobody makes
die.
it to the end, yeah. It's true.
That being said, like some of the choices in this movie were very strange. The whole thing with Mr. Togo, Professor Togo, Teacher Togo, whatever. He was their teacher.
Turning into bananas.
First of all, that guy looked like an idiot. Secondly, like the scenes that he was in were so weirdly nonsensical that they took me out of what was happening in the house.
That was weird, yes.
Which was seemingly more entertaining than what, like everything Togo did really didn't do anything to advance the story or the plot. I was a device to show you where he was, next to whatever was happening in the house.
Right.
And he doesn't make it till the end. You could have told that in one scene, in one Togo scene. And it didn't even have to be that long. And then just put me back in the house with what's happening. Because that's where all the crazy and funny and weird crap is.
Right.
That's where I want to be, So like choices like that, maybe they're not such a great idea. So I docked it a 0.5 star. But I did enjoy this movie quite a bit.
Right.
It's a quick story. My girlfriend and I watched it, and I was so embarrassed because she didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to expect, but I had seen Japanese movies before, so I'm ready for like the craziness. And I'm so embarrassed for like the first 30 minutes of the movie because I don't know what this movie is, and it has all the teenage girl drama stuff happening, and I'm like, the whole time I'm just like, oh my god, like she hates it. She has to hate it. What is this?
Yeah.
Let's get to what's supposed to happen.
Right.
And then once you watch the whole movie, like, it makes sense. It works once you've seen the whole movie, and you're just like, oh, I see how that fit in. Okay. Also, I knocked it 0.5 star for the Morricone comment. If he had said Sergio said I was almost as good, okay, I would have believed it. Better than no. You're delusional, my friend.
Yeah, no kidding.
So there's that half.
That
but
man was a treasure.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's there to show that the world of the movie is so obscure or not obscene that like the father, he's a better composer than the composer of The Good and Bad and Ugly. Okay.
Yeah.
Like it's so out of touch with reality that it's that weird.
Found his Japanese wife in Italy.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly. Anyway, the reason I told that story is because I want you, if you're going to watch this movie, and then later introduce it to someone who has either never seen a Japanese movie of any kind, or this movie, it's going to be 30 to 35 minutes of like really weird, embarrassing crap.
Yes.
So just keep that in mind when you're watching this movie, when you're showing it to somebody else.
I didn't think it was quite that long, but okay.
I mean, it might be hyperbole, but like the entire like that first part of the movie before they actually start getting to the house is very like weirdly squeaky clean and
teenage girls.
Yeah, teenage girl melodrama. My dad married a new lady.
I don't want to go there. Let's go here.
And then when all the schoolgirls are introduced, all of a sudden it seems like something out of a sitcom.
A little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Also, this is just a terrible way to introduce your new wife to your daughter, to your 15-year-old daughter. Because we met, got married, and she's your mom now. So I want you to start calling her mom.
Suck it up.
Yeah, exactly. So,
all right, you ready to get
I'm just letting you know that before you introduce it to somebody.
Right.
Yes. Before we do, does anybody have anything to plug?
Oh, I got my YouTube channel where I'm uploading stuff again. It's I have some pretty cool videos on my YouTube channel. I highly recommend checking out DaiKaiju Tony. No space in between the DaiKaiju and Tony, please.
Smash it all together.
Yep.
Yeah. And then Adam, can you give us your OnlyFans?
Nope.
I mean, I have my own OnlyFans. I'm just kidding. No.
Tony, we all know about your OnlyFans.
Even though
Yes,
even though they're not on a live broadcast, all the links will be below in the rerun broadcast or the rerun if you want to watch the video.
Oh, and real quick, I did forget to say, if you do want to watch the movie, it's on HBO Max.
Yes, it is. So good.
So good.
Watch it
so bizarre,
with
so crazy.
Watch it
So
with
much,
the most
so much criterion on there. I'm so happy.
strongest psychedelic you could possibly find.
Right.
Or you don't have to go that far. Not the strongest, but I think something that's gonna
Right.
elevate your mood is probably
Yeah.
good enough.
All right.
Go Porygon. All right.
So we're trying out this format for a while. Hopefully, in the coming weeks, we're going to get a lot better and tighter on it. And hopefully, you out there will be there with us.
Yep.
I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye.
All right, we're out, even though we're still streaming.